Connection terminated.
Alright guys, so we're in the second round here, going up against another BlackWarGrey player. There were at least 4 of them at my shop, and I went up against 3, so not too fun to be honest, but nevertheless. So he went first, hatched for aghh. He hatches egg Digimon for aghh. Hard drops aghh, and then adds the Greymon, puts the rest of the bottom. I draw for turn, hatch my egg. I Digiball for Gasso, draw a card. I drop Draco for 3, go to 0, and then I just hard drop Greymon for 4, reveal the top 4. I draw one for the Draco first since I hard dropped the blue flare, and then I reveal the top 4. And then I just add the Tamer and the Cyberdramon and pass it over to him at 4. By the way, there's a few things I clipped here just because I want to make my matches a little bit faster. So he just hard drops Greymon for 5, which I don't know why he did that, but I passed it over to me at 1. I promote, I summon Gasso. It hits and it dies. I hard drop Greymon from the Gasso. I draw another for Draco, and then I reveal another 4. I add another Gasso and the memory boost. I play memory boost for 5, put him at 4, reveal the top 6, and I do get a Tamer for free, so I add the Cyber Launcher and the Dramon, and then play the Kiriha for free. Pass it over to him at 4. And like I was saying, some of these matches I want to make them quicker, because if it wasn't for this, it'd be like a 30-minute video, and I just don't want to take up that much time. So he placed the X antibody option under. Then he Digiballs for Greymon. He pops my Draco. Then he Digiballs for 1 on top of Greymon for Metal Greymon X. And then he goes and pops my Greymon. My Greymon has save, goes underneath my Tamer. So as of now, he can't get de-Digivolved or DP reduced. And then he just Digivolves for 5. He gains Blitz, he puts me at 4. And then 2 checks. Survives and gains Reboot. And then trashes 1 for the Metal Greymon X antibody. My Greymon unsuspends. I Hammer Spark for 1. And then I pop my memory boost, going to 7. Yeah, 7. And I'm looking pretty good here so far. I was just taking a bit. I don't know why. Trying to figure out what I wanted to do here. I should have clipped it here too. Let me know if you guys mind if I end up doing this, because sometimes, like I said, as of right now, this is sped up at least like 2 times already, and I could have clipped this part here because there's not really much going on until now. Nope, I'm sorry guys. Okay, so I Digicross for Cyber Launcher for 5. No, wait, for 4, I'm sorry. Because I was at 7, and using Cyberdramon and Metal Greymon underneath reduces the cost by 2, and he's at 8, so obviously it's 4. And since I have Cyberdramon, I can tuck a level 4 lower my opponent controls to the bottom of their deck, and then I also place the Dramon underneath it. I Digiball for 2 into Greymon, and now I stun the Gaomon because it has Dramon underneath him. And I play Z Greymon from the Greymon's effect. So now I got a blocker. He doesn't get to the 1000 boost from Decker or Cyberdramon. So I just ended up playing Blazing Memory for 5, putting him at 4. Revealing top 6, I added Metal Greymon. Actually, I added Z Greymon and Metal Greymon. Put the rest at the bottom, and then pass it over to him. So he can't attack with Gaomon for the most part. So I'm pretty safe there. And I also have a blocker because I have the Z Greymon underneath Decker Greymon. And now that he has 2 Digimon on the board, my Decker Greymon has 2000 plus. 1 for the Cyber and 1 for Decker Greymon. He Digivolves for 2, then gains the 1. So he's at 3 for Greymon. He tucks the X antibody option underneath him. Honestly, I think I hate that option more than I hate Cool Boy. And a lot of people hate Cool Boy. And I always say it's not Cool Boy that's the problem. I mean, it is cheap. Okay, so he swings in and I block. But he goes and Digivolves. Actually, he couldn't even have done that. I just realized that. So I screwed up there by letting him Digivolving. And then I let it swing in anyways like an idiot. So I had Armor Purge at least for the most part. So I go down to a Metal Greymon. And then past turn, I go to 3 for Kiriha. I promote my rookie. I swing in at security for 1 check. I draw a card for the egg. He hits a Cool Boy, of course. Whiffs it, nothing. Then I ended up Digicrossing for Metal Greymon. Going to 0, popping the memory boost, going back to 2. And then I don't get to stun anything because I don't have any. He doesn't have any more sources than the Metal Greymon. And then this is where we went for the optimal play. So I could have just swung in with both of those, but I was fortunate enough to draw into these. So I Digivolve for 0 on top of Greymon, because Metal Greymon X Antibody can Digivolve on top of Greymon for free. I mean for 0. And then I Digivolved over the other one for 0 again, drawing another card. So that ended up working out pretty nicely. They both have 2 checks each, and they're both at 11,000. I ended up swinging at security for 2 checks. Survived. I Digivolve for Z Greymon for 3. Then I gain 2 memory since I have a blue flare underneath and my opponent has 2 more Digimon. And he unsuspends as well, so I go back to 1. I swing in for 1 check, and then I just swing in for game with Metal Grey X Antibody. Going into game 2 now. So game 2 was pretty nutty. I go first. I hatch my egg, Digivolve for Gasso. And I play Kiriha for 4. Passing turn over to him. He Digivolves after he hatches his egg. He draws a card. Digivolves for 2 for Greymon with the security plus. Now he's at 2 memory. See, these are the little moments I should be clipping out. Honestly, this would have been so much longer had I not sped this up. He ended up passing turn. I promoted my Gasso. He must have bricked pretty badly. So I swing in with Gasso. Hits an X Antibody. I lose a memory. The X Antibody goes to his hand. Then I just play Draco for 3, putting him at 1. Then passing over to him, he promotes the Greymon, I'm sorry. So he asked if what happens with Gasso if he kills it. I told him he pretty much drops a blue flare that's level 4 from hand. He tucks the X Antibody underneath Greymon. Digivolves for 3 for Greymon Alterus and pops my Draco, passing it over to 3. I unsuspend, I Digivolve for Draco, draw another card. I double Hammer Spark. I go to 5. So I decided to stick with Blue Flare again this weekend. And then just hard dropped Cyber Launcher for 8. And then I just took the Z Greymon underneath to give him blocker. Didn't get to stun or do anything with it though. So then he Digivolves into aghh in the back. Digivolves for 1. And he pops the Gasso. I think it has to pop. I'm not sure, to be honest. Yeah, he did pop it. I didn't have an effect for Gasso, unfortunately. He plays Cool Boy for 3. I mean for 2. As the Kaiomon. He's at 0. He's Digivolves for 5. He Digivolves the Cyber Launcher. He tried to swing at my Zeeg, but he can't because he doesn't have the other Greymon, the Metal Greymon. He hits the Tamer and then Decker in the stack, and it's actually 3 checks. And then he hits the Memory Boost. His turn, my turn. He reboots, trashes the top card of my stack due to the Metal Greymon X Antibody. I pretty much hard dropped Metal Greymon for 7 after I popped the Memory Boost. I swung in with Draco and it died. I Digivolved for 0 for Metal Greymon X Antibody. He's at 11. He dies. Oh my gosh. Just when I thought I had game here. Swing in with Zeeg. Survives. I'm at 0 memory now. Happened so quickly. I play Gossip for 3. Pass it over to him. He promotes Agumon X. And then he pretty much got it right there. He swings in with Gaio, I believe. Yep. 2 checks. Death X. He's over at 17, and he swings in with aghh. Now we're going to the game 3. He was going first. He hatches his egg. Digivolves for Agumon. Draws a card. Hard drops Agumon for 3. Reveals the top 4. And I think he just adds Greymon. Yep. Pass over to me. I hatch my egg. I play Blazing for 5. Put him at 2. Reveal the top 6. I added Cyber and Triple Tamer since it does have Blue Flare and it's straight. Pass it over to him. Promotes the Agumon. Digivolves for Greymon for 2. Goes to 0. Then Digivolves for X Antibody Greymon for 0. Draws another card. Swings in with the aghh. It dies when he hits the Decker Greymon in the security. Places the X Antibody option underneath Greymon X. Then reduces the cost by 2. And then just Digivolves into Metal Greymon. I pop the Memory Boost. I go to 4. I have no rookie, which is pretty bad. Honestly, I thought I was going to lose this game here, but ended up clutching it out. So that's what we do. We're Blue Flare. No, just kidding. I really like Blue Flare as a Digicross deck more so than Cross Hearts as a deck with X7 and all that. Just because it's blue and it's super, super consistent. So I ended up Digicrossing for 4 for Cyber Launcher and then placing the Decker underneath. Yep. I go to 0. I didn't get to bounce or stun anything though. Then I just used Sorai for 4, and then I stripped 4 sources underneath it. Unfortunately, I can't strip the X Antibody, so he's pretty good. He's still pretty good position here, and he has 4 memory. So damn, what did I do? Trying to figure out what he wants to do. I'm not sure if he has a rookie or not, but neither of us do. He hard drops Yuya for 4, goes to 0, and then just Digivolves for Gao for 5, suspending Yuya so he gives him 2,000 plus. And he does have Blitz, so he swings in for 2 checks, hits a Blazing in the stack and the Dracomon. He gets Reboot. He doesn't get to pop anything from my stack because he doesn't have Metal Greymon X Any. I pop the Memory Boost. I go to 7. Yep. I'm at 7 memory here. And I'm going to use it all. I ended up Death Xing for, what is it? 3, 6. For 14. So I put him back at 7. De-Digivolved the Gaiomon. Not the best call, but it was a good call. Because Yuya only stops options. And at least for now, I have a Death X on the board now. That's going to apply some type of pressure. You can just easily get over it too, but we'll see. We'll see what happens here. Yeah, I had to clip it here too because he was taking forever. This is my roommate, by the way, so he hasn't played in a minute, but it's all good. So he Digiwalls for BlackWar for 4. He goes to 3. And he doesn't pop anything, so for what it's worth, he swings at my Cyber Launcher. It has Armor Purge. Then he unsuspends because he deleted the Digimon. Then he swings the Security, swings in and gets the Gasso. And he just hard drops Greymon for 5. It dies because of Death X. I promote for my turn. I'm at 2 memory. And I promote the Gasso. I swing in with Gasso, it dies. And I drop Greymon for 4, reveal the top 4. I add Greymon and Metal Greymon. Then the rest go to the bottom. I attack with Death X over the BlackWar. Swing in with Greymon, Metal Greymon and Security. I hard drop Greymon for 4, putting them at 2, revealing the top 4. I add Melbird and Z Greymon, put the rest at the bottom, pass it over to him. He goes to 3 for Yuya, and at this point, there's not really much he can do, so I ended up clutching it out because of Death X, to be honest. He hard drops Greymon for 5, passed it over to me. They all unsuspend, I hatch. It died because of Death X. Swing in for 1 check with Greymon, swing in with Death X for 1 check, hits the memory boost, and then swing in with Greymon. It gets save, and then swing in with Greymon for game.